travel looks very different now than it did just a few weeks ago, now that the federal mask mandate is no longer in effect and masks are largely optional on most transportation. A federal judge in Florida overturned the federal mask mandate, which had required face coverings in places like airports and train stations. And CDC and TSA came out and said they would no longer enforce this mask mandate. So that was a very sudden shift from what we'd seen over the past months, whereas this federal mask mandate had been in place since January of 2021. We did see the Department of Justice appeal this decision from the judge, so they're working to reinstate that authority with the CDC. So right now we're just waiting to see what plays out next when it comes to this federal mask mandate. We saw this domino effect across different travel industries where major airlines, right now all the major airlines are saying they are not enforcing this mask mandate. We saw Amtrak come out and say they will not enforce it. Uber, Lyft, Greyhound. So for the majority of these travel companies that have been enforcing this mask mandates, the majority have definitely lifted it. In some areas, like certain airports still say they have a mask mandate. Also a good idea if you're traveling internationally to check to see if that country does require masking on planes, since this does vary country by country, but for the most part, no mask mandates at the moment, and we will wait to see if this does come back at some point. The CDC is no longer enforcing this mask mandate, but if you look on their website, they continue to recommend that people continue to mask up as they travel. Health experts point out that wearing a mask yourself does provide some protection, not quite as much as if people around you are also wearing masks. There's a bit of a difference there, but if you are concerned, masking does provide protection, especially those higher quality masks like N95s. We saw the rules change very suddenly, and we're not quite sure what the next steps will be, whether this mask mandate will be reinstated, what will happen through this appeals process. So don't throw away those masks yet. Make sure that if you're heading out, maybe double check with your airline's rules or those rules with whatever company you're traveling with, just to be sure what their masking policies are.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, check out these other videos from USA Today to stay up to date with all the latest news.